staring at a number, and I don't understand it. $232 billion. I built something for this company. I built goddamn faces! I spent 14 heart-wrenching months making sure the eyes moved right. The way a cheek creases when someone smiles, the exact weight of an eyebrow when someone's confused. Every single detail. I built them all. But no one ever wore them.
October 28, 2021, Menlo Park, California. Mark Zuckerberg walked onto a virtual stage and told the world that the most powerful social media company on Earth was dead, and that something bigger, something beyond, was about to be born. He called it the Metaverse, a place where 1 billion people would live, work, play, fall in love, and buy things, not on a screen, but inside a world. He renamed the entire company after it. Facebook was gone. Meta had arrived. On that same day, Meta announced that it would spend $10 billion that year alone building this world, and it was hiring thousands of people, engineers, architects, designers, avatar designers. Marcus was a 3D character artist. He'd spent 6 years building video game faces, the kind of work where you spend 3 days on a single eyelid because it has to feel real. He'd worked on indie titles, mid-tier studios, good work, quiet work. Then Meta called. The recruiter told him he'd be working on something that would make everything he'd done before look like a rough draft. He said yes before she even finished the sentence. What Marcus didn't know was that on the exact same day Zuckerberg announced the Metaverse to the world with a $10 billion promise, Facebook's internal research teams had already concluded that their social platform was in serious trouble. The Metaverse wasn't just a vision, it was an escape hatch. Zuckerberg wasn't running towards something, he was running from something. And he just hired thousands of people, including Marcus, to help him do it. Marcus's first week inside Meta's reality labs felt like science fiction. His team was building the faces of the metaverse, not just the look, the feeling, the micro-expressions, the way an eyebrow moves when someone is confused, the physics of a virtual cheek when someone laughs. The brief was simple and enormous at the same time. Make people feel real. Meta was pouring money in like water. Marcus had a team of 12, a render farm with more processing power than most studios could dream of, a budget line for reference photography, actual human models brought into the studio so the team could study real faces. Horizon Worlds, the virtual social platform that was supposed to be the Metaverse's beating heart, was already live. 1 million users, they said. The future was working. Marcus worked 16-hour days. He didn't mind. He was building something that would outlast him. Or so he thought. What Marcus didn't know, what Meta wasn't saying publicly, was that those 1 million users of Horizon Worlds were almost entirely people who had logged in once and never came back. The platform was bleeding users faster than it could acquire them. Internal teams had flagged it, reports had been written, and Zuckerberg's response was to announce even more investment, bigger, faster, more. Nobody told Marcus. He was still perfecting eyelids. By January 2022, something had shifted inside the Burlingame campus. The meetings that used to end with roadmaps and launch dates started ending with questions nobody answered. Timelines got pushed. A feature Marcus's team had spent 3 months building, adaptive facial expressions that responded to voice tone, quietly disappeared from the product roadmap with no explanation. Then came the avatar photo. In August 2022, Zuckerberg had posted a photo of his Horizon Worlds avatar to announce the platform's expansion into France and Spain. The internet tore it apart. Commentators said it looked like a game from 1997. A billion-dollar company had produced something that looked worse than a PlayStation 2 cutscene. Zuckerberg was humiliated, so he called a meeting. Not with the engineers, not with the product team, with the avatar designers. Marcus was in that room. Zuckerberg told them directly the avatars were an embarrassment. He needed them fixed immediately. The entire public perception of the metaverse was sitting on their shoulders. Marcus's team worked without sleep for 6 weeks. While Marcus's team was being told the avatars were the problem, that better faces would fix everything, Meta's own data told a completely different story. The metaverse Zuckerberg had promised would hold 1 billion people was a sham. It had fewer active monthly users than the city of Wichita, Kansas, and the avatars didn't have legs, literally. The engineering team had determined that rendering full-body leg movement in real time was too computationally expensive, so they shipped without them. Users were just disembodied floating torsos. Marcus had spent months perfecting the face. Nobody had told him the body wasn't coming. Wednesday night, February 2, 2022. Marcus was still at his desk at 11 p.m. when Meta released its fourth quarter earnings report. The numbers were catastrophic. Reality Labs, the entire Metaverse division, had lost $10 billion in a single year. Facebook's daily active users had fallen for the first time in the platform's 18-year history. Revenue forecasts for the next quarter came in $1 billion below what Wall Street expected. Marcus refreshed the page, looked at the numbers, looked at his avatar renders open in the next window. He went home, set his alarm for 6 a.m. He thought it would look different in the morning. What Marcus didn't know as he drove home that night, what no employee at Meta knew, was that on that same Wednesday evening, as the earnings report hit the wire, institutional investors were already placing their sell orders, full exits. Morgan Stanley, Cowen, KeyBank, 3 of Wall Street's most influential analysts had already written their downgrades before midnight. By the time Marcus set his alarm, $232 billion in market value was already as good as gone. The sell-off hadn't started yet, but it was already over. Marcus got to his desk at 6:47 a.m. The stock market hadn't opened yet, but the pre-market numbers were already on every screen in the building. Down 22%, down 24%, still falling. By 9:30 a.m., when the New York Stock Exchange opened, Meta's share price had collapsed 26.4%. In a single trading session, $232 billion in market value, more than the entire value of Nike, more than 2 IBMs, more than 3 General Motors, had evaporated. It was the single largest one-day destruction of market value in the history of American capitalism. Marcus sat at his desk and stared at his screen. The avatar he'd been working on for 3 weeks stared back, half-rendered. It looked exactly like he felt. By noon, Zuckerberg had lost $31 billion of his personal net worth in a single morning. His wealth dropped below $100 billion for the first time in years. And yet, on that same afternoon, Zuckerberg went on a call with investors and said the words that would define everything that came next. He was doubling down on the metaverse. Marcus kept his job that day, and the next day, and for months afterwards. Meta didn't stop. Zuckerberg poured more money in. Reality Labs burned through $13.7 billion in 2022, then $16.1 billion in 2023. The Avatar team grew, new features launched, Marcus shipped work he was genuinely proud of. And then, in January 2026, more than 4 years after the day the world changed, Meta announced it was shutting down Reality Labs game studios, laying off 1,500 VR employees, closing Horizon workrooms permanently, deleting all user data. $71 billion. That's what the Metaverse cost. Over 4 years, 1,000 days, and Zuckerberg burned through a sum larger than the GDP of most countries, chasing a world that never wanted to exist. And somewhere in that $71 billion, buried in the render farms and the motion capture data, was Marcus's work. Thousands of faces, hundreds of expressions, eyelids that moved exactly the way real eyelids move, built for a world with no legs, in a city with no people. And as reality dawns, the metaverse fades away.